August 3rd, 1985. Dear son, it has been 2 weeks since I've heard from you. You are making me worried. Did you get my package? Common courtesy demands a response. Find the post office in San Francisco. I know they have one. If you've received your package, you'll find pre-stamped postcards and envelopes. I gave birth to you, so I feel like I can ask for communication from my baby boy. 3 kisses, XXX, love, Mother. P.S. I am proud of you. This program is your dream. I just hate that it is 3,000 miles away. I cannot think of a better way to spend our money than on my talented son. When I see you on stage, I know it is where you are meant to be. Your father is a work in progress. However, he never breaks a promise, and he promised if you were accepted to this program, he would pay for it. Don't you worry. I will hold his feet to that fire.
August 12th, 1985. Dear Mother, thanks for the care package. So glad to get it. I've been rehearsing late, sleeping, getting up, and running out again. You saved my life. I don't even think they sell grits here. Brooks, the new associate artistic director from New York, really seems to like me. I gotta run. I have to prep for class, and I am understudying 2 roles on the main stage. Love you, Chris.
Dear Chris, why would you want to live in a town without grits? Let me know if either of the other fellows falls down a flight of stairs and I'll fly out. 3 kisses. Love, M.
Dear M, accidents happen. All I'm saying. There are other things in life besides grits. And I have you pipelining me the perfect breakfast food while I pursue fame and fortune. Your favorite son. 3 kisses.
Dear only son, everyone at church misses you. The quality of the choir has greatly diminished without you. Miss Maddie is worse than ever. Daddy is very grumpy since you left. Or was he always grumpy? Doreen wants to introduce you to her niece the next time you're home. She's a beautiful girl. We can go to the club for lunch. Miss you. 3. Love, M.
Everyone at church does not miss me, but I miss you. Don't you get me started about Grumpy. Tell Daddy he better be good to my best girl. Y'all should go somewhere just the 2 of you. You love the ocean. Make him take you to the beach. XO. Love, Chris. P.S. The Tempest is going to be incredible. Wait till you see how they're doing the rain. My Fair Lady is almost sold out for the run. The director, Steven from New York, is phenomenal. He's mining all the social relevance about class and hypocrisy. A very biting kind of humor. Right up your alley, Mom. P.P.S. Tell Doreen no about the niece. The only woman in my life is my sainted mother.
Sainted mother, ha ha. My sarcasm redounds. It's way too hot to go to the beach. And we are going somewhere fabulous when we venture forth in November to see you in your plays. I adore San Francisco. I'll get to see the Pacific Ocean. Actually, I hate to get in the water, but I do love to look out at the ocean. Sold out already. Well, it's a big operation. One of my sorority sisters was telling me that she's seen several things there. Your father is making noise about not leaving work. I plan to get him drunk and wheel him on the plane. He's still pouting that you didn't want to go into business with him. He will have to get over it. You have a gift. You always have. And I believe in you. Are you making friends? I hope you are not too lonesome.
Mother, darling, dearest of my heart, I am way too busy to be lonely. I'm having the most fun ever. ACT is a dream come true. The company is top-notch. To save money on housing, they've moved us to an apartment just off Market Street. It's me and 5 other MFA students. Please, these folks were not raised by you. This is what a vacuum looks like, Steve. This is where you turn it on. Communal living for sure, but close to the trolley and all the bars and nightlife. Since we had the biggest apartment, our place is becoming the gathering spot for the acting company. It's cold here, but I even love the rain, which rolls off the ocean in sheets. Hey, it's almost your anniversary. Make Daddy spring for the Mark Hopkins. I went up there for drinks last week. Someone was trying to impress me. The view is amazing.
Who was trying to impress you? Guess what? Since it's our anniversary week and Thanksgiving, Grumpy is springing for the Mark Hopkins. A suite with a view. Thanks for the suggestion. You see, he does have a soft side. Oh, I can't wait to meet all your friends and fellow artistes. Maybe we could throw an orphan's dinner party at your place for all the people in your company who can't go home for Thanksgiving. XXX, love, M.
You've reached Glenn and Deborah Harrison's. We're out slaying dragons and putting out brush fires. Y'all leave us a message, and we will give you a call just as soon as we can. Thanks.
Mom? Are you there? Got your letter. What a fabulous idea. The orphans will be thrilled. If you and Daddy spring for the turkey and the wine, the rest of the orphans will bring side dishes. I told them not to bother with dessert, that my very own mama, Ms. Deborah, will be making her world-famous apple custard and pumpkin pies. Can't wait to see you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You've reached Christopher Harrison. I'm out and about living the dream in rotating repertory. Leave me a message.
Hey, sweetheart. Sorry I missed your call. Have apron, will travel. Miss you terribly. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Dear Timmy, hope this gets to you by your birthday. Did you get the package? I labeled the poppy seeds to make it easy for you. If you sold in January, they should be about 6 inches now. Remember, weed out half or they won't do. You made the paper again. See enclosed clipping. Miss Valley Oxley would be out of business if it weren't for you and the Masons. You can keep this copy. Whenever you are in the Dublin Times, I get an extra copy. I'm making a scrapbook, but I can hardly keep up. And guess who likes to take naps right on top of my scrapbooking work? That Sparkle is gonna be the death of me. He got out last night and I was worried to death. Now, you know there are wild dogs around here. I'm a fool about that cat, I know I am. But it's pretty and keeps my toes warm. It has been cold here. I've had to lay straw to protect my seedlings. I worry about you, son. I hope you keep out of wind and weather. Timmy, I have prayed and prayed for you. I've not told your daddy what Pam and I found out about you and that boy, Michael. I'm afraid it would kill Daddy. Read from 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 8 through 11. Read Timothy, the name of your grandfather. I named you for him.
1 Timothy 8 through 11. We know that the law is good if one uses it properly. We also know that the law is made not for the righteous, but for lawbreakers and rebels, the ungodly and sinful, the unholy and irreligious, for those who kill their fathers or mothers. Really, Mama? For the sexually immoral, for those who practice homosexuality. Dear Mama, Thank you for the money. Michael and I will treat ourselves. I'm sorry to hear about Pam being on bed rest. We'll send her some good books to pass the time. So excited to be an uncle. Pam's baby will grow up in a better world. I'll talk to Daddy in person. It's my place to do it. I hope you're taking care of yourself. How's this cough? Love, Timothy.
You've made the front page. Miss Valley Oxley is beside herself about you in the picture with the governor. I am real proud of how well you've done there at Georgia Tech. Here's some money. The picture of your patio garden is real pretty. Daddy's about the same. Love, Mama. Oh, P.S. You are a good boy. I wish you were not gay.
Mama, thanks for the clipping. Miss Valley Oxley is in fine form. And she makes me sound a whole lot more important than I am. Daddy's cough sounds terrible. Try to get him to quit smoking. That will do a lot for his heart.
Your daddy is his own man. Can't change him. You know that. Son, I've been going to prayer circle here at church to save your soul. I love you, but I hate that you are gay. How can I sleep knowing my son is doomed for eternity? You were baptized in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Please pray on this choice of yours. You are risking eternal damnation. Don't you want to be with your brother Barry when you die? Your brother is in heaven. Don't you want to see him again? I can't help thinking if Barry had lived, you would be different. In my mind's eye, I see the two of you sitting on a pew at church with your granddaddy washing your feet and wrapping you up in towels to keep you warm. Jesus can help you change. Love, Mama. A P.S. Read Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 through 11. Do not be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor homosexual offenders, nor thieves will inherit the kingdom of God.
Mama, tell Miss Valley Oxley to buckle her seatbelt. I am going to the Middle East on a trip with the Carter Center for Peace, and I am the youngest person and the only lawyer to be selected. Tell her I will get her a picture with a camel. We'll be traveling to Syria, Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, Greece, the West Bank, and Israel, seeing many significant archaeological sites. One of the purposes of this trip is to get folks of different religious backgrounds to talk reasonably to people with differing points of view. Maybe it will help us. It grieves me that you're so worried about me. I don't want to argue with you. How's Daddy? Love, Tim.
Timmy, here's the latest from Miss V. Oxley. You are the local hero. But how would everyone feel about you if they knew the truth? I am proud of you for being selected for this peace trip. I am not proud of your choice to be gay. Please stop it. Move out from that, Michael. Can't you get another roommate? Read Bible verses Leviticus 20:13. Here's $20. You look too skinny. Love, Mama.
Mama, thanks for the money. And if only it were a choice. Do you think that I would choose to be the other to bring prejudice and shame on my family? God knows I feel guilty that I caused you pain. Mama, I've always known I was different, and I think you knew about me too. Look, I love you. Please don't ask me to change what I cannot change. Hey, you can't change daddy. Why in the world would you think you can change me? So I'm doing these intense weekend training sessions in preparation for the peace mission. Their group includes religious leaders from all faiths, but the majority of them are Southern Baptists. President Carter wants to make sure that Baptists aren't becoming too insular. A big part of our mission is learning tolerance. I'm learning that the Bible has been translated many times to suit the purposes of those doing the translating. We don't own slaves or stone people anymore. Humans evolve to higher truth, and I hope and pray if I live a good life and help people, that God will accept me as I am.
You've reached Glenn and Deborah Harrison. We will give you a call just as soon as we can. Thanks.
Mom, I know you're there. Please pick up. I'm sorry y'all found out this way. Is Daddy still mad? Call me. Did you even see the play? I went over to the Mark Hopkins after my matinee and they said y'all had checked out. I wish you hadn't had to leave town without talking to me. Mom. Please answer. Mom, pick up. Mom, please. We have to talk. I love you, and I love Daddy. Please call me back. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
December 3rd, 1985. Dear Chris, please stop calling. Give us a little breathing room. This is a lot to deal with. You have choices in life. We all do. I've always supported you in your acting, but your father is so upset. We cannot condone this lifestyle. I love you, son. I always will, but this is killing us. Every time someone asks about you, I just freeze. We are worried what will happen if people find out, that it will reflect badly on Daddy, on his business. He views this as a betrayal and something more. He is beside himself as he thinks it calls his own manhood into question. I saw the play. Dad did too. He cried through the whole thing. But the tears were for you, not for Willie Loman. When Linda Loman held her son's face and said, "My baby," I just lost it. You're a wonderful performer. Let us recover from this upset. Please give us space. Love, M.
Dear M, I'm sorry Daddy is mad. You had to know from my dress-up days in your giant closet. Please don't let this change things between us. I don't want things to be weird at Christmas. XXX, Chris. P.S. All my compadres were going on about my good-looking mother. You totally charmed them at the orphan dinner with your southern hospitality. They'd all heard my tales of the divine Miss D and were not disappointed. Loved your haircut.
Dad's not mad. He is destroyed. He wanted to surprise you and take you out to brunch before your matinee. He wasn't prepared for what he saw when he opened your door. I wasn't really prepared. Remember when you brought your friend Claire home from college that time and Daddy adored her so? Well, we hoped that we were wrong. Remember how he took Claire down to his office for lunch and showed her around? He wanted grandkids. Hell, I want grandkids. Why make this choice? Surely you can just control these urges. I am living proof that sex is not the be-all and end-all of life. Your father will not continue to pay for your school unless you promise him that you will exclusively date women for 2 years. He is just furious. And I'm wondering if you ought to come home at Christmas. I don't want to upset him.
If it makes Daddy feel any better, tell him I did try women. Lots. Those UGA sorority girls were mooning over me, as you may recall. Don't you think if I could love women, I would? Yes, I do love Claire. Life would be so much easier if I were attracted to her sexually because A, those would totally be some awesome looking kids, and B, she knows how to vacuum. I've always had the most beautiful, funny, wonderful women in my life, and yes, that includes my sainted mother. I am coming home for Christmas. Daddy is loaded. You cannot permit him to drop his only son from payroll, even if I am the autiste. As for grandkids, Julie and Jeff are on this for you. I am guaranteed to be the world's greatest uncle. I'm sorry Daddy is mad. Handle him. You always win. Jingle bells. 3 kisses. Chris.
Dear Timmy, a leopard cannot change its spots. It is in his nature to kill or be eaten. This relationship with this boy, Michael, ain't natural. Judges chapter 19, verses 16 through 24.
Seriously, Mama, stop the verses. We are not wicked. God has blessed me with a true love, just like he blessed you and Daddy. Aren't we lucky? You know how good Michael is and how he loves me? Doesn't the church teach love and acceptance anymore? This is me. Please accept me and my life's companion. I'm leaving soon and I don't want to argue.
How can you ask me to accept the unacceptable? Our new preacher is preaching sermons saying this AIDS is God's punishment for the sin of homosexuality. I raised you right and gave you what I could. Oh, I was so proud of you in high school. Basketball, band, and all those girls loved you. Good girls. You could have married any one of them and not lived in this sin. I'm afraid for your soul. Read Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 32. It says it plain.
Timothy Davidson. Oh, hey. Nothing. I'm not mad at you, Michael. It's just, I got another letter. Same as always, I'm a sinner. Well, easy for you to say your parents are liberals. She won't listen. I am the source of her pain. I'm the bad seed, the deviant, the sinner. It gets to me. I feel guilty. No, it's not you. Yeah, well, I'd like to have a rational conversation with her too. But okay. I will try reason. Love you. Bye. Dear Mama, please let's talk about happy things in our letters. Words have power, and yours are hurting me. I understand that you're repeating what you're hearing at church from some well-meaning, if underinformed folks. I mean, long distance is expensive, but please call me if you have to say this stuff. You'll get it out and it'll be over. There will be no record of it. Letters linger. Just don't fight. I'm asking you, please, no more misinterpreted Bible verses. today in our group, a woman read Psalm 121, and it reminded me of you. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in.
The Lord shall preserve thy coming out and thy going in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. Dear Timmy, 121 is a good one. My granny, Zonnie Pruitt, who was half Cherokee, taught it to me. She couldn't hardly read, but she could say that one by heart. Oh, thank you so much for the candlesticks. Oh, they are beautiful. I cannot get over the picture of you on a camel. Miss Valley Oxley has put it in the paper. No surprise there. Miss Valley did a little write-up of your trip with the caption, "A Man of Peace." I thought you'd like that. I've got 3 copies, so I'll save one for you. I put one in my Timmy Bragg book, and I got the other on the refrigerator with a magnet. So it's like you right there with me while I'm cooking. Today, while I was standing blanching corn for canning, and you know what a hot job that is, the steam was coming up like it does from the pressure cooker. I turned and saw your picture through all that steam. And you with that Arab scarf on your head, well, it was just like you walked right out of a Bible story. Was that a sign? Please be safe over there. I won't sleep good till I know you're back in the USA. And when you come home, I'll make your favorite chicken and dumplings. I sure could use a Timmy massage. Ooh, I took a tumble off the back steps. Don't know what happened. Just lost my balance. Anyway, I must have pulled a muscle in my back. Next time you come, if you rub my back for me, I promise we can sit here and watch programs and I'll give you a first-rate foot massage. Don't be angry with me for trying to save you from the fiery furnace. You are my precious son. I love you, Mama. Oh, P.S. Miss Valley is hoping you'll do a talk for the auxiliary. She got a slide projector, so if you've got slide pictures to show from your trip, she's ready.
Dear Mama, be careful on those steps. I've met the most amazing woman on this trip. Her name is Dr. Kathy Turkle, and she's an ordained Presbyterian minister. She's only a few years younger than you, but we had a long talk about you in the church. Now, she's helping me to understand your letters and why you're turning to the Bible. She maintains that fear is driving your letters. And why you're turning to the Bible in this Bible verses, this is fear talking. I understand why you're scared. These are scary times for gay people. And Dr. Turkle has helped me view things from your vantage point. She's an amazing woman. And she's been on several digs here in Israel. She said, usually on digs, there are many strata or layers of civilization stacked on top of each other. The first layer is typically the Jews, then the Christians built right on top of the Jews, and then the Muslim symbols are on top of that. Each civilization building on top of the next. All this fighting in the name of God, all followers of Abraham, 3 great religions that share so much but cannot seem to get along. Dr. Turkle and I spent a day together, digging at an ancient archaeological site on the west bank of the Dead Sea. It was hot, windy, a strange place, oddly beautiful. Anyway, this site is unique because in this one location, researchers have found symbols of all 3 monotheistic religions mixed together in the same strata. Dr. Turkle says the site shows us through archaeology that once we all lived together in peace and that we can again. This entire trip has been about us learning to talk to people who hate each other. I know you love me. I'll probably be home by the time you get this letter, but I want us to work towards understanding. Love, Tim.
Your talk was wonderful at the library. You'd have made a good teacher. Everyone in town that I meet tells me how lucky I am to have you for a son. Don't be mad at me for saying so, but I was glad you did not bring Michael. The Daddy's pretty good today. He said to send y'all money. Love, Mama.
You've reached Timothy Davidson and Michael Hernandez. We are unable to come to the phone right now. If this is business related, please call Tim's office at the Carter Center for Peace, 496-1105.
Timmy, your daddy's bad sick. They've taken him to the ambulance to the hospital. Come home.
Mom, what happened?
March 15th, 1988. Dear Mother, I hope you and Daddy are well. Julie tells me things are frosty, but okay between you. Mom, I'm sorry. I know you are angry about me dropping out of school. Please understand my decision to go to work full-time for the Names Project. My neighborhood, my community here has been hit by the plague. I felt stupid walking past the AIDS Quilt offices every day to go to class to do Alexander technique. What bullshit. Alexander would make you cringe too, Mother. It is a cult, if you ask me. I do love acting. I really do. But the day I walked into the quilt office, there was this mad amalgam of folks, young, old, gay, straight, sewing, working together on these panels, these quilt pieces. I don't want to sound too left coast for my mother, the cynic, but I had this feeling of peace, of belonging. It was the biggest sense memory I ever had, and I wasn't lying on a sprung floor and feeling a cloud of energy or breathing through the soles of my feet. Suddenly, I had a crystal clear memory of Granny Harrison's quilts made from scrap pajamas. I still have one. I brought it out here with me. That quilt is tangible. It is something from home that can travel and cover me with love. It hit me in that moment that these people are trying. They are doing. They are not just walking past. There's a beautiful young woman named Gert. She's the main seamstress. I've fallen in love with her. Well, not that way. Spiritual love with her. We are quite the team. She has a killer sense of humor. She reminds me of you. Gert and I have been on tour with the quilt off and on for the past few months. I've been checking my mail religiously. I know you've gotten my letters. You're angry. I can feel it through your silence. But please understand, the Names Project gives meaning to my life in the midst of the insanity of all my friends dying. If this many deaths occurred in any other segment of the population, there would be an unbelievable outcry, a public health emergency. We are going out on the road again soon with the quilt, with several stops, then ending on the mall in Washington, D.C. I want to see you. Could I come home for a visit once the tour is done? Could you meet me at the airport Sunday evening, May 15th? Is that Mother's Day? Well, it is for me. Miss you. XXX. Chris.
Dear Chris, we received your letter right before Easter, and I put it in a drawer until now. It was too painful. I haven't been sleeping, and the emotional strain of your announcement has been too much. But you forced my hand, and I must deal with you. I can't work at all. I don't even know if this letter makes sense. I am so upset, but I am trying to hold it together. Your father has fallen into a deep depression. It hurts me terribly to say so, but you are not welcome here. Do not come to Atlanta after the tour. No one in our family will be there to meet you at the airport. We refuse to have anything to do with your work with AIDS. What would our friends think? When you took Daddy's money for college, and did not enroll, you crossed a line. That check was for your tuition and living expenses. You squandered it, and worse, you lied to us. A lie of omission is still a lie. You let us believe you were still in school. How could you do this to us? On top of everything else you put us through? I cannot defend you any longer. Daddy blames me for you being gay. He says I spoiled you, and I suppose I did. Chris, how could you take our money for school, and give it to AIDS? Why in the world would you throw away your talent and your life traipsing around the country in a van full of hippies with the AIDS quilt? What you are doing will not make one little bit of difference. You cannot cure this disease. You are making a spectacle of yourself and embarrassing your family. Until you stop working with those AIDS people, you are not welcome here, and we will no longer support you financially. You have to grow up, my baby. Be a real man. Get a decent job. Enclosed is a check from my Mad Money account. It is the last money you will ever get. And if Daddy knew I was giving it to you, he would divorce me. Take this money. Leave San Francisco. Go somewhere, anywhere. Get a haircut and start over. And leave all this AIDS business behind you. Until you stop crusading for AIDS, I must say goodbye. XXX. Love, M.
You've reached Chris. I'm out dancing somewhere in the Castro. Catch me if you can. But change first, because you are not going to wear that if you want to be seen with me. Or be boring and leave a message.
I know you are there, sweetness. It's Gert. Pick up. Pick up! Listen, sister, we are going to fight this. There's a new study. We will get you in. My best friend is not going down without a fight. Boring my ass. I have my hair done and my big girl shoes on. I will be there in 15 minutes, and we are going dancing.
Dear Mama, you weren't in the room when Daddy passed, so I need you to hear my story. It was late, or really early, around 3:30 a.m. I'd fallen asleep with my head on his bed. Something woke me. I could sense a change in his skin, a sort of blue tone coming up from his feet. I knew he was leaving, Mama. I could see it. Since I knew these would be our last moments together, I was moved to jump into the bed with him, and I held his hands. I was stroking his face and telling him how much I loved him and how grateful I was for the sacrifices he made for me, for my education, and that I was honored to be his son. I said, Daddy, Mama tells me that I've disappointed you. I'm sorry if I've caused you pain. If you know about me and accept who I am, please squeeze my hand. Mama, he squeezed my hand. He accepted me. His face was peaceful. Daddy knew that Michael was not my roommate. He knew, and he accepted me. He gave me that gift before he passed. Can't you accept me too? I'm not asking you to choose me over your faith, but I am asking you to consider, what Jesus would do. The Bible is a translation, yes, perhaps guided by the Spirit, but man-made. Please look at this list of verses from Dr. Turkle that support accepting differences and even same-sex relationships. I know how much the Bible means to you, so I'm asking that you meditate and pray on these passages. Love, Tim.
Dear Timmy, that you're telling about Daddy ain't true. He wasn't in his mind at the end, and he did not know enough to answer. Those verses don't change your sin. You're not reading it right. There is no such of a thing as a devout gay Christian. I showed your letter to Pam. She's very upset. She claims you are twisting the Bible. Pam said that she was ashamed that you let Michael come to the hospital for everybody to see. She don't want Michael to come here no more, and she especially don't want him around her babies because she says it will be a bad influence on them. You are always welcome in my home, but please respect Pam's wishes and don't bring Michael here anymore. I've been through a lot, and I just can't take any more upset. I miss your daddy something awful.
Dear Mama, I've tried to answer all your letters with love and the duty of a good son, but I cannot allow you or my sister's family to treat Michael unkindly. I hope you will come to accept me for who I am. Until then, please do not contact me. I will not open any more letters. I'm done. They hurt too much. I'm making this defensive move because I feel you are never going to change. I strive to live a peaceful life. It hurts me to do so, but I'm abandoning you. Though we won't be seeing each other anymore, please know that I will always love you. Love, Timothy.
Dear M, I have floaters in my eye. I'm on the AIDS ward at San Francisco General Hospital, amongst the social outcasts left to die alone. I have malignant skin lesions called Kaposi sarcoma, open sores. It's all so awful. I am sorry. I am ashamed. 3 years ago, when I moved to the magical land of the tail of the city, I was so happy, but I was a foolish, spoiled boy. Only thought about having fun. I was handsome. Oh, not now. I wanted to be wanted, touched, desired, and I wanted to have sex all the time. For the first time in my life, I was away from the judging eyes of the Georgia Southern Baptists. I heard your and Daddy's comments about fags. The golden boy couldn't come out. Maybe if I had valued myself more, if I had accepted my true self, I wouldn't have had sex with strangers or partied so much. I have an idea who infected me, but I have no idea how many men I infected. My work with the Names Project was my penance. I pray that it makes up for any harm that I did. I just wanted to be touched, to feel wanted, to belong. A lifetime of being the other. And finally, here in San Francisco, I felt like I belonged. Well, I'm not pretty anymore. And no one wants to touch me.
January 10th, 1989, 2:44 p.m. You have one new message.
This is Gert Mullins. Do you know what day it is? His birthday. This is your son, lady. The letter you and your asshole husband sent broke Chris's heart. All he's ever done is love you. He's dying. Get your ass out here. The doctors can't believe he's still alive. God! The years I spent hearing about his sainted mother and how much he loved you, you make me want to puke. What kind of mother are you? You should be here with him. His T-cell count is less than 1. He is in the fetal position. How can you? What a great life he's lived. What fun we had together. We were warriors against stupidity, hatred, and the goddamned NIH. What an idealistic, beautiful, intelligent person you raised. How in the world can you not be proud? Why in hell haven't you come? I think you are afraid to face him. You've waited so long while he begged you to come. Well, now he can't speak, so you're safe. He can't tell you how much you hurt him. If you have one shred of decency, you will get your ass out here so he can see you. He can still see. Let him see your face so he can die. Get a ticket, bitch.
Em, come. Mom. Love you. M.
Brothers and sisters, again today I am concerned by what's in the news. Turn to Romans chapter 1, verse 27. Men committed indecent acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their perversion. Due penalty. That is what the Bible says, the word of God. These homosexual sinners have brought it on themselves. Yes, Sister Davidson, are you moved? Well, please come down and testify.
I grew up in this church. My grandfather founded this church. Daddy, Uncle Morris, and Uncle Dan were deacons. I was married in this church. My sisters Bertie and Beth and I all went to and taught Sunday school. Of course, my little Barry and my husband Augustus are both buried in the graveyard. This church has been my rock. I have fundraised and I have tithed. Preacher, you say AIDS is God's wrath and his judgment. You give us Bible verses to back up that claim. See, I've been praying and meditating on what it means to be a godly woman, a truly good woman. When I was little, there was polio, and people had so much fear around that disease. Mama wouldn't let us near a swimming pool for fear we would catch it. There was no cure, but there was love and faith. We did not turn our backs on them and leave them to die in agony. You say it is God's wrath and his judgment. Well, I'm just one woman, and I've not been to college. But I read the story of Christ as forgiveness, acceptance, and love. Jesus knows we are all sinners. But if he were here today among us, I believe he would go to these young men that are infected and he would touch them, bless them, and forgive them. So, preacher, I think maybe you are wrong. Maybe AIDS has come not as a curse on them, but as a test of our Christian charity. That is what I think. My Timothy is gay. I lost my youngest boy to cancer. I'll not lose my oldest son to meanness. So I'm leaving this church, and I am not coming back until we leave off of this hatefulness and turn back to love.
Dear Michael, so glad to get your letter, but I'm heartsick to hear that Nathan has full-blown AIDS. What is happening to our world? I'm sorry about the rudeness of hospital staff. Tell Nathan he will not end up on the street. If or when the hospital turns him out, we will find him a place. This no phone calls rule at my leadership retreat is harsh. I ache for you, to kiss you, to hold you. You're right. Our love has kept us alive. As crazy as it sounds, I look forward to growing old with you because there are way too many of us dying young. Thank God we found each other at Tech. Can't wait to see the new puppies. See you at the train station on the 26th. Please thank Christian, Doug, Jeff, Guy, Randall, and Stephen for helping out while I'm away. Love, Tim.
Dear Clay, enclosed, please find my signed copy of the final divorce decree. Thanks for holding my hand through this process, being the grown-up in the room, and generally making Glenn behave. He yells because he can't cry. He's always had a temper. I have been mulling over your advice to divorcees and widows. What first seems like a loss becomes, over time, an opportunity for something good. I can't see it that way right now. Right now, I just need to get away. So, I'm leaving next week on a slow boat to China. Maybe when I return, I will take you up on the invitation to dinner. You are a true gentleman. Your Charlotte was a very lucky woman. Regards, Deborah.
Dear Timmy, I don't know if you will open this letter or not, but I wanted you to know that I love you and I miss you. Me and Sparkle are coming to see you and Michael. My sisters think that I am foolish over this cat, but if I don't bring Sparkle, I'm afraid they'll let him out and he'll get lost or worse. I reckon I am stupid over my cat. This past year and a half has been awful for me without your daddy, but made so much worse because I didn't have you. Daddy is in a better place, I know that, and he is out of his pain. He visits me sometimes, and he's helped me come to this decision. Although we haven't talked, I've thought about you every day. I've prayed hard. It took me a while, but I've considered all of that you sent me with about the Bible translations. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8 through 11 really rang out in my head. Ooh, that unspoke to me because you are a man of peace. I want you to know that I've left Kenansville Baptist, at least until they get rid of this yelling preacher. I had been reading that passage from Peter, and the preacher started up with that, what you'd call railing. And I was called down to testify. I told the whole church that I could not stand by anymore and hear hateful sermons against gays because my own son is gay. I got to thinking, maybe AIDS is not a curse, but a contrariwise blessing, teaching us all about love. I told him as much. It was real scary to do it, I won't lie. But ever since I did it, I feel lighter. I have to put up some pickles and do some freezing. I've had a bumper crop of squash this year. Aunt Bertie is going to take care of my flowers and the mail, so quick as I can get my chores done, I am loading up Daddy's Cadillac, and I am coming down there to Atlanta to see you and Michael. You know, Uncle Dixon passed last year, and your Aunt Odessa has said that I can come and stay with her. Well, I'm aiming to stay there and help Odessa until I bring you around. I wanted to give you fair warning, but by the time you get this letter, I'll probably be there. I'm thinking it'll be Sunday evening. I hope you won't turn me out. Love, Mama. Oh, P.S. I am bringing you lots of food and stacks of papers where Miss Valley Oxley still writes about you. Folks make fun of her for being so high-toned, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have known about your new job.
You can do this. Dear friends, as some of you may know, I lost my beloved son Chris to AIDS 2 years ago. I want to make a memorial panel for the AIDS Quilt that bears his name. Chris spent the last few years of his life working for a cure. This seems like a fitting tribute and the best way to honor his memory. Enclosed, please find a red heart if you write a memory or a quote about Chris or attach a photo. I'll include it in our Hearts Full of Love quilt panel for Chris. Please use the enclosed self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you for being his friend and for your memories. Please share this letter with anyone who might have known Chris. Many thanks. Sincerely, Chris's mother, Deborah Harrison.
Hello, Timothy. Robin Stanley here. Good news. I have 3 more volunteers for the Hospital Association. All 3 of these ladies came down to Crawford Long and did an orientation. One is my friend, Deborah. She's just gone through a divorce. She's loaded. I'm talking Harrison construction loaded. Ms. Deborah volunteered to do hospice work and specified working with AIDS patients. If we don't talk before then, happy Thanksgiving.
Timothy Davidson, Atlanta Hospital Association. Oh, hey, babe. You home? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was this late. Yeah, I got to get this proposal done. This grant proposal. What in the world's wrong with the dogs? Hello? Everything all right? What? You're kidding. She is? With Sparkle. Well, what letter? I didn't read. Tell her, no. She cannot come in. No, I don't want to see her, okay? Call me when she's gone.
Dear Mrs. Harrison, here's a memory for you. A Xerox copy of the letter in your handwriting.
The letter cutting him out of your life. The letter that broke his heart. This does not die with Chris. How dare you, now that he's gone, play the grieving mother? You only want to remember what you like, the baby, the boy. You have no desire to know the man. You ask for memories. I have them. He gave me everything, including your awful letter. At the time, I was confused. Why would he give your letter to me? I realize now it was so painful. He couldn't bear to keep it. He needed a witness to his pain. Here's your memory. Take back his heart, cut in half, attached to your letter. Because that is what your letter did. It cut his heart in half. He grieved you. It's your turn. You missed the last 3 years in the life of a prince. If you want anything else, other memories, and I have it all. Photos, theater programs from his shows, antiques from his apartment. You come to the quilt office, walk through our door, see where he worked, accept who he really was. If you can do that, I will give you everything I have of Chris's, because I hear Chris telling me to give you another chance. Though I don't think you deserve it. Gert.
September 30th, 1991. What a pleasure it was to finally meet you in person. Your reputation preceded you. Our mutual friend Robin told me what a dynamic woman you are. You did not disappoint. Thank you for a lovely lunch. I've always heard about the Polaris, but I had never been there. Spending the afternoon, spinning in a circle with you and hearing about your life and travels was a treat. I was thinking as we revolved that you and Atlanta are alike. The embodiment of the South, old and new, unafraid to acknowledge past mistakes, but looking forward to a shining future. I could almost see change as we turned. Thank you for sharing with me the loss of your son, Chris. It's not an easy story for you to tell, but I felt privileged that you would share it with me. Your hospice work is a place for grace. We're all striving for peace and grace. I wish you peace. Thank you for your service as a volunteer and for your interest in our work. We could not survive without dedicated volunteers like you. Sincerely, Timothy Davidson, President, Atlanta Hospital Association.
You are an impressive young man. I'm amazed to see someone as young as you is so focused on caring for the old and sick. I have to admit, it was bittersweet to meet you. When you spoke of your work and of your home life with your partner, my mind kept flashing to what Chris's life could have been. Robin mentioned that funds are running low. Your work is so important. Surely you qualify for some grants. Can't you get some governmental support? Keep up the good work.
Thank you for your note. Unfortunately, the demand for hospice beds in Greater Atlanta far outstrips our capacity. We are overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel like I'm holding my finger in the dike. So many people need help. We do receive some federal and state monies, but across the board, cuts have deeply affected us. We're on the front line struggling to find enough beds each day. We still have a great deal of education to do. Sadly, many terminal AIDS patients are dealing not only with their disease, but also with the stigma and prejudice surrounding an AIDS diagnosis. We are currently looking for angel donors to create and staff a new hospice wing devoted to HIV/AIDS patients. Could you help us find sponsors? Normally, there's a long dance between our organization and donors, but I thought, perhaps given your story, you'd be someone we could count on for support. Unfortunately, many of our steadfast hospital donors are reluctant to allocate funds for AIDS patients. It's hard not to get discouraged. Would you be willing to set up your Rolodex and help us continue this work?
I am interested in helping. However, I am not in a place financially to help you at present. The truth is, Glenn controls my purse strings. We aren't on good terms right now, and I am reluctant to reach out to our friends for fear of embarrassing or angering Glenn. I hope you understand my delicate position. Hello? Oh, hello, Glenn. Well, I've been volunteering at the hospital. No, they have not. Oh, it's always money with you. They haven't asked me for a dime. Do you? Mm-hmm. Well, I'll keep it in mind. Goodbye, Glenn. Hi, Timothy. It's Deborah. Success! We have a private dining room at the Druid Hills Country Club for a 1:00 luncheon Thursday, May 21st, the year of our Lord, 1992. Oh, it took some time. It took some doing, but I have corralled some folks who owe me. Be there. No excuses. I'm sorry it took this long, but We are on the verge of big money. Keep the faith. Bye-bye.
Thank you for all the encouragement and the introductions. Something good has already come out of the lunch at Druid Hills. You were amazing and so right about rich folks wanting to see their names on things. Michael and I would like to invite you to our place for brunch next Sunday to say thank you. It's casual. If weather holds, we'll eat on the deck.
Thank you for the lovely brunch. Michael is a keeper. He can cook and do woodworking. That staircase is amazing. If he is missing, just know that I have come in the night and kidnapped him, and you won't get him back until my lake house is redone. Don't be upset with Michael for sharing with me about your mother. What a story. She's got some tenacity. And I have to say, I envy her. I think you should hear her out. Take it from a lady with a suitcase full of regrets. Make amends while you can. Life is short, my friend. Your mom may not be perfect. None of us are. But she keeps on showing up, and that says a lot. My darling daddy used to tell me, showing up is half the battle. So forgive my meddling, but you have a good life and a lovely home with someone who loves you. Be the bigger person and let her in. It's not too late. At least read her letter. Signed, your bossy friend Deborah, who should mind her own damn business.
Though we haven't talked, I've thought about you every day. Took me a while, but I've considered all of the verses you sent me. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8 through 11. That one spoke to me because you are a man of peace, at least until they get rid of this yelling preacher. I was called to testify. I told the whole church that I could not stand by anymore and hear hateful sermons against gays because my own son is gay. Hi, Deborah. Got your note. You can't have Michael, but thank you for the advice about mom. You'd be pleased to know that Michael has organized what he is calling the Camp David's Son, Mother's Son Peace Accords. Wish us luck.
Dear Timmy, I miss y'all already. You've certainly got your hands full with those dogs. They are adorable. I had the biggest time nussing with them. Tickled me to death that Michael did not know about nussing and him being such a dog lover. Cooking with Michael and showing him how to do chicken and pastry was really special. I hadn't made it in a long, long time. I reckon it was too sad for me because it was Daddy's favorite. It just felt right that I would teach it to Michael. Made me feel useful after he'd worked so hard on my floor. He'll make a pretty good cook, and it eases my mind that he has learned how to make your and Daddy's favorite dish so well, because I'm not getting any younger. It felt like old times to do all of that cooking with Michael. Reminded me of when Beth and Mary, Bertie and Shorty and me would be cooking up a storm back in the day. I am so tickled with my new floor. Oh, the quilt pattern is just beautiful. The way all the different colors of wood come together. And I really love that we found a pattern we could all agree on. Now, anybody that comes over, I march them right back here to my kitchen to show them my quilt pattern floor. I hope I'm not being too house proud, but it sure is pretty. To thank Michael for all of his hard work, I'm putting in a few of my best recipes. Now, since he likes tart, he will love the rhubarb one. Son, you've done a good job keeping the starter for Daddy's secret barbecue sauce going. That would really tickle him. Since you uns will enjoy barbecuing, I'm putting in my slaw recipe for Michael. It'll be easy for him. Sparkle is meowing, so I better sign off and pay him some mind. Oh, give Michael a hug for me and thank him for taking care of you. It's so cute how he calls everybody initials. Tell him M says, hey, and I'm proud to be the M in his alphabet. Love, Mama.
Timothy Davidson, Atlanta Hospital Association. Pam? Wow, well, this is a surprise. What? How? A stroke? Well, exactly when were you going to tell me? Can she speak? Oh, we just had just such a great. Yes, of course I'm bringing Michael. He and Mom are, you know what? I'll get on the road as soon as possible. All right, can you hear me in the back? All right, good. So 2 years ago, my mother, Myrtle, suffered a debilitating stroke. And since I know our Atlanta hospitals to be the best, I did not hesitate to bring my mother from rural North Carolina to Atlanta. Intellectually, I knew I was making a smart decision, but what I learned from you, her caregivers, far surpassed anything I learned in college. Hospice work is more than a job. It is a calling. Mom's decline was pretty rapid. Her hospice workers, many of whom are in this room today, were truly astounding. I mean, you taught me how to let my mom go with grace. Mama was a devout Christian. She believed in heaven. She believed in angels. I hope I will see her again. Many of us aren't able or willing to be with our loved ones when they leave this life. With amazing grace, you are there. The work you do borders on the divine. Thank you for being there for the sick and the dying, for being everyday angels. Mama is surely holding a special place in heaven for each of you. Last year was a really tough one for me personally. I lost my mother, and professionally, it looked like we might have to close our doors. I was losing my faith. A very special friend of mine turned her own grief into something positive. Through her courage and her generosity, the Atlanta Hospital Association has created a tangible way to thank you, our angels here on earth in this lifetime, for the heroic work you do. Starting January 1st, 1995, not only will there be a dedicated HIV/AIDS hospice wing, but every single hospice worker, LVN, LPN, and direct care staff will receive sick pay, paid family leave, vacation days, and most importantly, health care through our system for you and your family members. Deborah, Marta said it was okay to come on in.
Yes, of course. Thanks for coming. It is silly of me, really, to ask you, but when you offered to drive me to the hospital gala, It's just I've put this off and off. You know, I completed it 2 years ago, but I couldn't let go. I just didn't want to do this alone. And Glenn and Julie will just fall apart. And Chris was such a happy guy. I didn't want this to be a sad occasion. If I have learned anything from, what is it now, 3 years of doing hospice work, it is the soul does not die. Something good, some energy, some part of the spirit survives.
I think so too. And with my mom now, I know so.
Okay. I'm ready. Could you do the tape?
What about the letter?
Oh, it's in the box. It's in there.
You're not going to read it to me?
Well, it's already sealed. It took me forever to write the letter, almost longer than making the panel. It's in the box with a big check from Glenn. Well, I did make a copy of the letter for Julie. June 11th, 1995. Dear Names Project, this quilt is an amalgam of all the stages of my son Chris's life. He was an actor, so there are photos and programs from plays at different theaters in Atlanta, where he was born and raised and began acting, and lots from San Francisco, where he worked and where he died. It took me a long time to know and accept all the facets of my son's life. As a child and as a very young man, we were very close. You can see from the photos he was very handsome, laughing and smiling all the time. He could totally charm the socks off anyone, especially me. His daddy claims I spoiled him rotten. I plead guilty to that charge. When we found out Chris was gay, and then later when we learned he was sick, I had to face the fact that I didn't really know my only son, the son I professed to love so well. Only now do I realize that I only wanted to know the parts of Chris's life that were comfortable or pleasing to me. It has taken me years to accept him as he was. Though I will never get over losing Chris, assembling this quilt has been a comfort, and it has helped me to better know my son. And I think that we have assembled a fitting tribute to the whole person, the funny, wonderful man, Christopher Glenwood Harrison. The two comedy masks in the middle of the panel are not a mistake. We intentionally chose to forgo the actor's tragedy mask. No frowns for Chris. Only the two smiling masks of comedy, because Chris's favorite parts were in comedies, and he always made us laugh. Chris had the ability to find humor in any situation. He spent the last years of his life working for a cure with you at the Names Project. I did not support him in that work. It was a chasm I could not cross at that time. All I can say is, I know more now than I did then. I was not there for my son at the end of his life, something I deeply regret. Please accept this panel and the enclosed donation in honor of the best son in the world. Chris and I wrote lots of letters when he first moved to San Francisco. In a way, this letter is to him. So I'll sign off as we always did. XXX. 3 kisses. Love, M.
Well done, Mom. Well done. Chris will be proud. Now, if we hustle, I can get this to the good PO at Peachtree Station before they close, and it'll be on its way. And that reminds me. So it's not too stodgy tonight. We've added a little sparkle, a really fun DJ who loves the 70s. Will you do the hustle with me?
Oh, Chris and I used to do all those dances. I'm afraid I've forgotten them.
Nah, a true dancer never forgets.